So, England versus Uruguay. I mean, let's be honest, it wasn't the best game in the world. That first half was pretty drab, pretty dull. It was a bit of an experimental squad, an experimental lineup. Thomas Tuchel has a lot of options. He has a lot of players that are in his mind, a lot of players that need to prove themselves. So I just think that lineup, though, the one that we saw on Friday evening, was, I mean, it was players almost playing for their places in the upcoming World Cup. In particular, of course, the two that stand out really are James Trafford and James Garner. They were both making their England debuts, and to be honest, I think they can be pretty pleased. James Trafford showed how good he is with his feet at times, which is something that I think Pickford lacks a little bit. I think he's a bit rash with the ball at his feet. He's very much a punt it out the field if it comes to at my feet and I'm under a bit of pressure, where Trafford sort of has that calming influence. I think we saw that a few times. He wasn't really tested with his hands too much. As for Garner, again, debut, he's come in, and the first half I thought he was fantastic. He was brilliant. He was his press was very, very good. He was very, very good off the ball, and he was trusted with set pieces as well, which I was quite surprised about. He's got a good delivery on him. Just want to mention Dom Solanke as well. Solanke has come in. I'm not too sure when he actually made his last England appearance. It was a little while ago, but I thought, again, he did okay. Like I said earlier, it's an experimental lineup. A lot of these players haven't played together with each other very often, apart from in training. They certainly wouldn't have played together in international games, whether it be friendly or certainly not competitively. But Solanke, I thought he did all right. Again, like Garner, his press was good. He was pressing the opposition, preventing them from playing out from the back. He did have sort of a half chance, didn't he, on the turn, left-footed. But it's a difficult one. It's a difficult game for someone like Dom Solanke to come in and make an impact because of the players around him, because they haven't played together for a long time. Not for a long time. They've hardly played together with each other at all, really. So it was difficult for him. Obviously, he got substituted for Calvert-Lewin in the second half. And of course, in the second half, we had the introduction of two key players I want to speak about, really, that have sort of had an impact. One of them being Ben White, obviously, for the goal, for the reason that he hasn't played since 2022. Obviously, we all know kind of the reason. We've been hearing that he fell out with, what was his name, Steve Holland, that was it, Southgate's number 2, for whatever reason. He has his reason not to play. He was booed a bit when he came on. But, it's his chance now to sort of close that chapter and start a new one if he's going to get picked. He's versatile. He can play centre-back and he can play right-back. I think there are certainly better options in both positions. But if you're looking for players that you need to take to tournaments, players that can play in multiple positions they're like gold dust, really. And the second one I want to talk about is Cole Palmer. I really, really rate Cole Palmer. I think he's a brilliant player. He struggled with injuries. He struggled with form. He struggled, in this weird Chelsea season, this lineup of players that just young lads and a young coach. And I mean, we'll talk about Chelsea another day, but it's just absolutely mental at that club. But I thought he came on and he looked good. He played really, really well. He came on, unfortunately, for Foden, who didn't really impress in that first half. It was difficult for him. He did receive a really, really hard challenge, and the referee, don't even be started on what the referee was doing. But unfortunately, he went off. Cole Palmer came on. There's a bug on my desk. That can go. Cole Palmer came on, and I thought he did really, really well. Got into good areas. Got into in between the lines. Picked up the ball. He was direct. He was running. He was getting at players. I thought he did okay. He did all right in a very average game. As for Uruguay, it's Ernesto Valverde, isn't it? He's brilliant. He's absolutely fantastic. I'll probably put him up there as one of the best number 8s in the world. I think the way I look at number 8 footballers, midfielders, they can play multiple positions, which obviously he can. Number 8s for me are sort of that box-to-box, high intensity, a lot of energy, energetic players that press high, win the ball back, box to box, get in the box, get goals, track back, make tackles, and he is very much of that ilk. And I thought at times he showed his class in amongst a team of Uruguayan players I've never really heard. I haven't heard of a hell of a lot of them. Obviously, Nunez came off on the bench, which we all recognise him and know what he's about. But Valverde certainly was the top player for Uruguay, and it showed at times. As for the penalty decision, obviously it was Ben White. He got his goal, his first ever England goal, which is great for him. fantastic for him. Obviously, we all saw the goal, tapping in at the far post. It wasn't very pretty. It was a bit Arsenal, really, being an Arsenal player. Let's be honest. But yeah, happy for him. Fantastic to get your first England goal. Unfortunately, he was involved in the penalty incident, and I mean, what can you say about it? Personally, for me, it isn't a penalty. I mean, players are going to contact with each other. All right, yeah, it was a little bit of a late high boot or whatever it might be. It's just a bit ridiculous. The game's gone, as the quote says, as the saying goes, I should say. But yeah, I mean, Valverde obviously tucked away the penalty with a lot of confidence, which he is high on at the minute, having banged in a hat-trick for Man City and playing for Man City, against Man City, for Real Madrid, and playing so well for Real Madrid over the course of the season. So it's Japan next for England on Tuesday. Again, it's going to be a lot like this game that we saw on Friday night. There's going to be a lot of rotation. There's going to be players coming in, getting a few minutes here and there. I'd like to see a bit more of Adam Wharton. I think with the Uruguay game, playing Ghana and for Henderson, for me, they're sort of similar profile of player. That sort of high energy box to box number 8, as we spoke about Valverde, is very similar. Obviously, a different level to Henderson and Ghana, but I'd like to see Wharton get in there. He's very much a ball progressor from deep. You're a deep lying playmaker, that number 6. I'd like to see him given more of a chance. Uruguay did make the game very difficult at times for England. Obviously, they were very aggressive with some of the tackles that were a bit unnecessary, a bit uncalled for, being a friendly. As for the game on Tuesday, I mean, I expect England to win. Whichever team they put out, I expect them to beat Uruguay. But it is very much an experimental lineup, an experimental squad. Tuchel literally has 90 minutes before he has to choose his squad for the World Cup. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't want to be him.